Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We're going to start part 9 of the cub restoration. Me and old Buster Clyde there, we done went for our little old walk. He ain't liking this weather too much this morning. It's cold. He's over there all snuggled up tight. And he really probably wants back in the house. And I may go let him back in a little bit. But anyways, let's go in the shop here. Oh boy, look at that. That old cub just looks good. I walked in here and had this go back out there and reshoot my going into the shop this morning. I just felt so good when I walked in, this bright shiny red tractor. I'm gonna have a little heat on today. It's cold outside this morning. Not liking it all outside, along with that 10-mile-an-hour wind blowing. But today we're going to focus our attention on this touch control system. We're going to get it down, see what all we need to do to get it rebuilt. The only problem I was having is where the control shaft comes out of. It was leaking some oil right there. But I got a kit over here for it, so I'm going to get it down, get it cleaned up, and try to get it back together. If I can get the touch control on this tractor, then I will have a tractor again. And you know, hey, it'll be, we'll get a little work out of this thing again. I just can't say again how much I just enjoy sitting here looking at this tractor. I can just see them big old stripes running down through there and how pretty the emblems are gonna make it look. Still kind of hurts my feelings what they cost. For some reason, the emblems for this little old tractor cost 2 to 3 times as much as all the rest of the Cubs. So that's just a little bit aggravating for me, but it is what it is. But I'm gonna have to probably wait till next week when I get my next Social Security check to kind of keep it in budget. We do have a budget around here, a rather tight budget if you want to know the truth. But hey, I ain't complaining. I enjoy it. Enjoy what I am able to do. Just gotta watch the numbers pretty close. But all right, thanks for watching, and I will chime back in. We're gonna get over and get started on that touch control, so we'll be disassembling it in just a few minutes. We're going to get this thing took apart. The first thing I done, which you don't really see it here in this picture, is I took a picture of everything, just to kind of remind me where little stuff like that bracket goes and such as that. almost took me for a little curve right there. Wasn't expecting them to just fall out. Guess I should have been. Alrighty, see if I can get this Carter key out. Assembled. Carter key back in there. Sometimes the littlest things can be so aggravating, especially when you can't see what you're doing. There we go, it's in there now. Funny thing about this little old Carter key was it even bent over, it was just sitting in the hole. Drop right back down in there. I really do want to reuse this boot because this boot is $16.50. Looks pretty good. All right. a little burr right there. Serious gasket. All right, there's my screen. Here's all this in. Okay, another plate on the back side. All in all, the bottom of it is clean. All in all, the bottom of it's clean. I don't know if you can hear me. I'm over here mumbling. All right, let's take the back on. We got here 9/16 looks like. Alright, this seems like a pretty straightforward deal. I've been playing with it here a little bit, trying to get a feel of what's going on. This piece will go round and around, but I cannot seem to pull it out of the house. I'm not going to pull it out. I'm going to leave it in there. This won't turn, but it seems like it should. There's a plastic piece in the bottom down there that's got a spring behind it. This piece got a spring behind it. These are the parts I was able to get out. This little old filter that screwed down in here, and this little old thing here just set right down there like so. Let's see if I can get that back out. Yep, okay. And this little piece here that's set down in there like so. And then this whole assembly right here, which has a little wavy washer, sits down in there like so, and then this goes in on top of it. And it's got a little plastic cup on the inside of it. So my focus is I'm gonna get this back out. And there we go. Put it back in line. I'm gonna get this spring, this little plastic piece back out. Put them back over where they were. Thank goodness for a picture already, because I done referred back to it to see which way that piece went in there. And I kind of got it in my head now. I got this out. Everything on it. Honestly, the rubber is not as hard as I would expect it to be for something that's built in 1979. My next step, I'm going to get over here in the mineral spirits. I'm going to get everything clean. I'm going to put new O-rings on here, on here, on here, on here. Cleaning that gasket off the bottom, that plate's going to be a job, because that's one heavy, thick gasket. This one here actually didn't even tear, but it'll be another pretty good job getting it off. Now, let's get to the instructions. Now, this particular little set of instructions are not exactly what I got. I have nothing coming in on that side. Don't have no tube in here. These parts don't really match up to what I have. That one might. There's the big spring and the cup, and there's the piece that's in the bottom. Might be a check ball or something right down in there under all that, but it's not coming out. I don't have that plug in here. I don't have no cut plug. So this the picture I'm looking at is not a whole lot like what I got here. So anyways, we're gonna make the best of it. We're gonna get it cleaned up. At the end of the day, if the lift works and it's not leaking, hey, we're gonna be in pretty good shape. So let me get busy. Well, we're making some progress till the power went out. So I'm cleaning parts with a flashlight now. And I can't do no cleaning till the fire comes back on, but hey, I'm gonna sit here and scrape around on this stuff. Try to get a little bit done. Maybe the juice will come back on in a little bit. Be careful when you're working one of these old razor blade scrapers. I really wished I had something. I do got something. Let's see if this will work. Get one of these old clamps. Clamp it down. Can. The reason I'm doing that is that, I'm sitting there cleaning the razor blade scraper. If that scraper slips, man, you'll cut yourself wide open. I've almost done it. Alrighty, y'all don't watch me scrape that off there, I'm sure. Alright, ain't nothing else I can do till the power comes back on. For this cleaning parts up. Gaskets come off relatively easy. And by the way, you should do this. I matched them up before I went too far with it, make sure they were the right gasket. So the bottom gasket, back gasket, they're identical. Started not to scrape this one off. It was just in good shape. I thought, well, I'll just leave it alone, but I went ahead and scraped it off there. Well, all right, ain't nothing we can do right now except for maybe open doors and get out yonder. If it's not too cold, it's kind of chilly and windy. If it's not too cold, windy, I may get out there and rub around on some of these parts with my Milwaukee tools until the batteries run down. Then once the batteries just fizzles out, ain't much I can do. But all right, I'll check back in a little bit. All right, good morning. We're back at the bench. We got in here this morning and we've cleaned up all our parts, got everything ready to go back together. Cold morning here in the south. Started out right at freezing. It may hit about 50 degrees. And it's a little bit breezy, but not too bad, just enough to where it's chilly. But anyways, we're at the bench. What have I been doing this morning? Well, this morning I downloaded all the information I could download on this thing. It's a little bit aggravating because they changed them quite a few times over the years. And I wanted to find a schematic that was just like mine. I'm sitting here looking at the one that come in a kit. Well, it's over here. I'm going in circles. It's under all this stuff. It's the bottom piece. See if I can show it to you. That come from Birch. I bought all this stuff from Birch. Okay. Yeah, there you go. There's the schematic come from Birch. And this is stuff I've downloaded offline. The one from Birch was just, you couldn't see nothing, couldn't tell what you was looking at. Well, what am I running into? It's looking pretty good. I mean, I got a schematic of all these parts. The only thing I'm running into is it calls for a tension spring on 2 of these. Now, I only really got 1 tension spring. You know, that is what I'm gonna call a tension spring. So that is the only thing I see that's kinda aggravating me a little bit. Wasn't one in it. Now, it worked fine. It worked absolutely perfect. So I don't know. I'm going to proceed to put it back together as if it just never had one in it, and it works just fine. None of this stuff is all that accurate. I mean, there's differences all the way through the thing, but this is pretty much so the closest I could find right here. And everything's cleaned up. The only O-ring I pulled out so far is the one that goes down in here. They're all O-rings, which that's going to make it kind of nice because there's no lips got to go one way or the other. So I'm going to get busy, get all these O-rings in place, get my piston in place first, and then roll it over, work on the back side. And it's really very simple. I mean, it's one of those deals, if you've done a few of them, you could probably do them in your sleep. But the fact that I've never done one of these before in my life, I'm having to really pay attention, and that's one reason I downloaded all this information. So let me get busy, get some O-rings in place, get the pistons in place, and we'll touch base with you. I don't know, it's the only thing I run into I thought was interesting, this grease fitting right here, which I was sticking all the way into the housing. It's like it was too long. I actually cut it down a little bit with a little old Dremel I had just to keep them sticking all the way through. Other than that, it's just been pretty straightforward. Just clean it up, put it back together. All right, enough blabbing. Let me get busy. I'll touch base with you in a little bit. Good morning. What we gonna get done today? Well, let's start by what we got done yesterday. We got our wheel weights painted, and we got our headlights over there painted, and we got our touch control back together and painted, and we got our wheels ready to paint. What we're gonna do? Okay, we're gonna get this bumper ready to paint. I'm fixing to clean it up, get it ready to paint. Put it out there in the sunshine, let it warm up a little bit. It's cold this morning. We started out about 36, 37 degrees. So it's a little chilly this morning. Anyways, gonna get that ready to paint. Get all the, if there's any complaint that I would have with Birch is they taped all this stuff up, and the tape glue's causing me more grief than anything. And that's all it is. This is a lightweight bumper with just a thin coat of paint on it. And gonna get them painted. I'm gonna set this touch control in place, try to get all the lines and everything hooked up on it. Then I'm gonna take off to Walmart and get me some 30 weight oil for it. See if we can get everything, get that part of it back together and running. I might see this tractor run again today. It would be exciting for me. So anyways, let me get busy and see if I can't get a little bit done. All right, just touching back in. What did we get accomplished today? Well, feel pretty good about it all. It's one of those days where everything kind of went according to plan. How often does that happen in life? Got the touch control back on. cranks up, it burns like a kitten. Touch control works. Well, that's kind of a milestone right there. I'm telling you. Still got a lot to do. I got to grease everything. I don't have anything in my gearbox. I need to put a little oil in the fan up front. Of course, I got to check the touch control oil in it. I'm going to set the timing. I figure I will. I could just set it by ear and say that's good enough. A lot of little details I got to take care of, but hey, I feel real good about today's progress. There's my bumper sitting out yonder, waiting to get put back on. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. So I'm kind of happy with it. I really feel good about the whole deal. Added a fuel filter. Done something a little different on the tank. You know, it's got like a little pickup tube on the inside that keeps it from getting fuel off the bottom of the tank. And then, you know, it's got a filter and a little reserve. I done away with all that. I just let it pull off the bottom of the tank. So I added a fuel filter to the system. And maybe that'll help filter fuel a little better, and I won't be running out of fuel so easy. With that tube sticking up, I go up a hill here and it just run out halfway up the hill. I had to have the tank, I mean, at least 3/4 full, or it'd run out going up the slightest little old hill. Maybe that'll help some, I don't know. But yeah, everything seemed to be coming together real good. I'm kind of happy. I'm gonna get down here tomorrow. I'm gonna put some grease and everything. I'm gonna put seat brackets back on it because I'm just gonna kind of stop right here and get the taters in the ground. And but anyways, take care of everything needs oiled and greased and checked, and a lot of stuff ain't that tight. Like the exhaust, it's not tight. It's just sitting there. Just a couple of bolts holding the hood on. I may not need to take it back off. It seems okay. Well, all right, anyways, enough blabbing. I'm gonna just back up, give it one more overview and say, there you go, there's my Cub. And we'll catch you on the next. All right, here we are, Saturday morning. Oh, let's see what the date is. I don't even know. Should be the 8th of March. There we go. And we have got this tractor to this point. Still haven't painted the seat bracket. Still hadn't painted the steering wheel. Just now rode around out in the field and realized while I was riding it, I didn't have the steering nut on it. I do got everything greased. Gearbox full of oil, everything adjusted out. Did just set the timing by ear. We'll see how that works out. I may put a timing light on it. My touch control works fine. Need a little clip right here to hold this to that metal bracket right in there, but I don't have one, so I got it zip tied to the edge of the fan for right now. I get, you know, I'll put more rusty cultivators on them now, but other than that, you know, I'm pretty. Sticker kit, that's $150 plus tax and shipping and everything else that's involved in that. So I guess I'll get some stickers and put on show, make it look better. All right, enough blabbing. I'm gonna start planting some seeds with my grandbaby. My grandbaby's up the house this morning. And we're gonna get out there and fill our seed trays up and start poking some tomatoes and pepper seeds in. We got it's a bunch of plants. I think 128 is what I believe we're gonna plant. And but anyways, you know, we won't plant that many of them, but we're showing up, gonna put a bunch of seeds in the ground. Well, all right, guys, that's the end of video 9 on the tractor light restoration. I am feeling pretty good about it. Pretty good about the whole deal. And we'll catch you on the next one.